How are you?
So much better than it was yesterday. So I during the weekend it was my grandpa's birthday, and we had a birthday party. It was great. We met together with family members, and
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I suppose I ate too much food. That's why yesterday I felt myself really bad. I had a temperature and I was lying the whole day. And that's why I didn't have a chance to meet with the girls. And but today I'm really energetic and I'm happy that I've got power.
I see, good.
And energy.
Lena, and how are you?
So as for me, my friend from Moscow came the previous week, and we spent some time together. So we walked a lot, we talked a lot, and we were really happy to say her goodbye on Saturday, and we have a relaxing weekend. We just stayed at home, watched the movie. So,
So it was
yeah,
a relaxing
I need
weekend.
Relax, yeah, and to keep calm a little bit because of the previous active weekend. So that was the time to relax.
I see. That's good.
Sometimes it's awesome to realize the daily routine, especially, the daily routine at the weekend is so amazing, yeah? Doing nothing.
Well, is it about daily routine or is it about relaxing after? Because I think there is an interesting point that some new neuropsychologists say that routines calm us down. So when we are used to certain things, we don't expect changes. We feel confident, we feel calm, relaxed. But relaxing, events or occasions also, bring some
positive emotions.
Yeah, definitely some excitement.
Saves energy.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. Ladies, can you hear me well? There was some misconnection, I think, from my side. Right. So if we look back, well, the previous week, did you have time to meet? Did you have time to talk?
Yeah. Lena and Svetlana did it yesterday.
We met yesterday. So on Monday is the perfect time to meet.
Monday is the perfect, well, I don't know, Mondays are always busy. I see. So if we summarize your week, was it more about effort, challenges, or achievements? Svetlana, what do you say?
Oh, my week was more about achievements. So I have managed to complete and solve some common concerns, some main concerns. And I have some good news this week. My husband is still in the red zone and he has to go to the nurse to check his blood pressure every day. But hopefully he won't have any prescriptions to leave his position, to quit or go to the hospital and have the special treatment. So he feels better, but yeah, everything is changing on to the better side, I think, for me and my family.
And today you look more, so the expression of your face has changed because I suppose because of the good
Good
news.
news. Yeah.
Piece of news, yes.
Good news suits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right. Well, it suits everybody, right?
Absolutely.
So, what about you, ladies? If we think about work-life balance, do you manage to maintain the balance? Lena is doing fine, according to
Mhm.
what she has said. So, Anya, how about you?
I suppose the same for me.
Mhm.
Um, I always, I'm always trying to be in a balance.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
suppose
Mhm.
one
Okay.
day I will do it easily.
You could say, I'm on my way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, to get. To get.
To reach the balance.
Yeah.
I'm still going there.
Yeah, and I'm teaching myself to slow down too, so
Yeah.
not to suffer from hurry sickness.
Mhm. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday,
The
so
other
because
day.
it's very important to slow down sometimes.
Mhm.
I
As
think,
for my, can I?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. As for my achievements, my daughter's preparation to school has finished. She's
Yeah.
going to school this September. Yeah, and that's the great achievement because we discussed the results. And the results were quite high. So I suppose that's not only her achievement, but also mine, because so we did homework together. We had some classes, so together at home with her.
Mhm.
So now I can
Breathe
be
out.
freer, yeah, a little bit. So
Mhm.
and that's also one of the opportunities to slow down because
Yeah.
we have less extra activities now.
Good. What I started appreciating about slowing down is not only a chance to pause and relax a bit, but a chance to observe life around and see better solutions.
Mhm.
Because when you are in a hurry, you're overstressed, you can't see the easiest way to sort out the problems, right? You
Yeah.
try hard, stick to the plan, and actually there are some things that might be avoided. So before we move on, I wanted to comment on some language items. Well, think about чувствовать себя. In Russian, it's a reflective verb, but
Mhm.
in English, we say,
Just to feel.
So,
I feel better, I feel worse, or I'm getting better. Sometimes we use this behave yourself just to emphasize a certain
Mm.
kind of pattern. Мы с ней распрощались. Мы сказали ей до свидания. Вот
Like said
подруги.
goodbye.
We,
Said goodbye to her.
yeah, then probably, or we said goodbyes, or we, I don't know, if it was like, I saw her off, yeah, like, oh, or something like this, because of the preposition thing. And think about the word problems and concerns. I know that the word concerns or concern is a very good one to use, but so what do we solve? What do we sort out?
Obstacles.
Problems. Yeah.
problem.
Concerns are more your worries. You can't really sort out your worries. Yeah. There are a few concerns that, and well, I managed to sort out some stuff, some things. Yeah. Raise concerns. Yeah, that's more about how you feel about the situation. Okay. So I hope that you have time to deal with some home assignments I know that the end of the academic year is hard. And usually you have at the end of the part of the book, at the end of the unit, we have some idioms to build up more language, and there was some self phrases, self adjectives. So if I put a sentence like this, how would you identify a person?
Self-sufficient.
Yeah, this is he or she is self-sufficient. If
Mhm.
somebody says something like this, so how would you describe?
Satisfied.
Satisfied.
Yeah.
Why do you say this? Because it could be, yeah, why? Can you comment?
Because the
Person
student-
was hitting.
So the person is happy, is glad with his achievements.
Reach
But
the
why
great-
but why self-satisfied? Self-satisfied, is it more like positive or negative?
positive?
I think
So
one-
if you look at this task, that
Negative,
it's a bit more negative.
Uh-huh.
And here, it's not only about a high achievement, it's
Ah,
about being like happy that you are better than others. Yeah.
Like self-confident.
Now, self-confident is positive, I would say. And
Mm.
self-satisfied is okay.
Right.
I would describe that, like self-satisfied, that I'm really happy that I'm better than
capable.
others. Well, you all probably know this. I know that Svetlana might have noticed this. These days, we have been talking to parents,
Mhm.
giving some feedback about the students' work. And there are a number of people who are quite self-satisfied. They don't want their students' results to be just the children results to be high. They want their children to be better than others.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't know, it's kind of funny that
Mhm.
people, is he better than others? Where
Mhm.
is he in the group?
Hmm.
Well, people keep asking these questions, right?
So when- yeah.
So I always not hate when somebody is comparing.
Yeah.
It's not
Not-
my cup of tea.
Well, it's not very professional, and it's not the main aim actually of learning or getting an
Yeah, that's not
education.
the main aim.
Yeah, of a good education or language skills to compare with people around. So look at this one.
Mhm.
Expect.
Good job.
So imagine a student who is about to graduate from university,
Self-aware
Self-aware.
or
Self-confident.
self-confident, because the person doesn't say, I'm sure, I expect. So my
Mhm.
qualifications allow me to apply for a good job. Look at this one.
Self-sacrificing.
Sacrificing.
Yeah, true. And
Self-centered.
okay. Yeah, probably self-centered.
Mhm.
And look at this one.
So here self-aware.
Self-aware.
Probably, yeah, the person is trying to be more objective.
Mhm.
So if we think of qualities, which qualities are difficult to, I don't know, build up, develop? What do you say?
Self-aware.
Self-awareness, I think.
Mhm.
Self-awareness, yeah. And how could it be done? What do you say? Can we teach that to students, children?
Yeah.
I suppose the situations, the circumstances can teach us.
Life experience.
Yeah,
Mhm.
life experience.
But some people are not good learners, especially when you are young. It's very difficult to learn from experience, right?
I think they're always so they forgetting things easier.
Mhm.
Uh,
And what about being self-confident? Every like mature, wise adult or parent wants their children to be self-confident and successful in life, right? So how can we teach that? Can it be taught, being self-confident? Self-confidence, what do you say?
So I suppose by giving wise feedback, proper feedback, yeah,
Mhm.
not just saying
positive.
that well done every time, yeah, but
Mhm, mhm,
praise achievements and
Real
highlight
achievements.
the achievements of the children, yeah, that really will help.
And
Mhm.
positive, constructive feedback, like more, not just you're nice, well done, or just in
Mhm.
short, words, but give some detailed positive
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
you have managed like not to be late today. You see, you
Mhm.
are getting I don't know, better in self-organize yourself. So you were trying your best in that.
Mhm.
Right now,
Mhm.
some details, a bit of details.
And the last question about self. We have a number of people around us, professionals, teachers, but teachers sometimes tend to worry too much and suffer from imposter syndrome, lack of self-confidence. Yeah, how can teachers be helped?
Courses can help us. No,
I think it's more like psychological work. You work on yourselves. You might go to millions of courses,
Mhm.
improve and improve and improve.
I think networking. So networking, like mind session. What do we call them? When like community of teachers, when you live within a community, you feel more
Like
like
socializing, yeah, like brainstorming.
socializing more,
Uh-huh.
and not to postpone your own life. So just feel
yeah.
your own needs, not first.
Yeah. Like
Yes,
the ability to recognize your achievement, right?
your achievements, yeah, to recognize them, not to underestimate the
Uh-huh.
achievement,
Yeah.
and not to, because we always, I mean, we are taught, we usually taught, not now, especially, some people who are from Soviet Union, who was born in Soviet Union, that when you will be at universities, when you will be a university student, so then you will start living, or when
Yeah.
you get
Uh-huh.
married, so it's
Delayed life,
Delayed life.
delayed.
pattern, yeah. And I think this ability to interact with your study buddy, the person who supports you, is really good. And we are human beings are social creatures. It's easier for us to deal with situations when you interact with others. And my recommendation within the last lessons that we have, like several more, don't expect people to knock at your door. Initiate
Mhm.
contact yourself. So my point here is that loan courses, professional development courses, help you reshape the habits. So because when you go to seminars, you get inspired, or you grab some tools like, oh, a nice game,
Mhm.
oh, a nice book, or well, a good game, to I don't know, IT thing that I can use. But well, changing the vision really changes your life. So keep this habit of socializing and interacting. And this loan talk, where TTT is high, sorry for that, brings us nicely to the topic that we are going to start today, which is more about health. So what kind of associations come to mind when you say health?
Health?
Health, yeah.
So my association is sport. So the
Yeah.
healthy person is the sporty person, definitely.
Do sport regularly,
Yeah,
not from time to time.
at regular sport. Yeah.
And healthy eating is also really
Mhm.
important.
And
So,
of course,
Svetlana?
more self-confidence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So,
that
So-
healthy body
Mhm.
creates healthy mind or helps
Mhm.
our mind stay healthy. So if we look at this visual metaphor that the publishers of the book use, what are they trying to show us? Yeah, what is why this
The-
image has been chosen?
It's never late
Yeah, to start.
to start and to be healthy. That doesn't matter.
it's
And
our
so the woman is very happy. She's smiling, keeping the balance. Yeah, maybe.
Well, Ada, the exercise that she's doing is exceptionally hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Probably.
as for me, I can't do
Me neither.
like this.
Mm.
She is at her gentle age and probably so definitely she definitely didn't start yesterday doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has been doing that for a long time,
Maybe for all her
4
life.
years.
Mhm,
That's her
mhm.
persistence and
Yeah, true. Well, today we are going to talk about sleep, and I'd like you to open your books at page 92. And here we have a number of questions, and I would like you to express your opinions, what you think or guess the answers might be.
Why
Mhm.
do all animals need sleep and
To
to get energy to relax
get
after?
energy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think our brain works this way that it relaxes, yeah, or some different process happen while we're sleeping. So our body needs this time to work properly.
Mhm, mhm,
So sometimes it's really complicated for me to switch off my brain
mhm,
Mhm.
during at night, I mean.
mhm, mhm. To
Stop
get to
thinking.
sleep,
Yeah, stop.
to stop thinking about something.
Yeah,
Mhm,
and I've read some research that was proved by scientists that we should not use our gadgets before
Yeah.
mhm,
the bedtime, so in an hour or two, and then we'll can go sleep easier. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go to sleep or get
Go,
to sleep.
yeah, go to sleep easier than if we have the screen.
Visual stimulation just
Because
before. Yeah.
this specific light from the gadget screens awakes some hormone. I don't remember what its
Mhm,
name, but
mhm,
so it's
mhm.
better not to use gadgets.
Okay.
And also the recommendation is to switch off Wi-Fi
Mhm,
and your phone at all. I know for someone it's impossible, but I really would like to try it, especially with my husband. Because when at the middle of the night the phone suddenly rings, I usually wake up and get up and give my husband the phone. And then after a while, it's so difficult for me to sleep again.
To get to sleep again.
Yeah.
To sleep, again.
Mhm.
And
So probably you should start with leaving the phone in a different room.
Or
Maybe not
wearing.
switching off Wi-Fi, but at least leaving it, somewhere.
maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Least,
you got on your phone the bedtime, app.
Yeah.
Mode.
Yeah, so
mode.
I always turn it on and don't use my phone after 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's a great recommendation, but based on his job,
It's impossible.
yeah, it's impossible. As for me, I can easily do it. So in the past, I was available at 9, at 10, but now I have changed my mind.
And priorities.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's more about priorities. Yeah.
The same
Okay.
with
For me,
me.
yeah.
And you can wear these things that stop hearing noise.
Virusha, you mean?
Yeah.
Earplugs. Earplugs.
Yeah.
Earplugs.
Max?
Plug.
Plug.
So,
Yeah.
so just a second.
Like
Because my
plug,
friend from Moscow came and she was wearing these things in order not to hear my kids at 7 a.m. Earplugs.
Right, we move on. What percentage of our life do you think we spend asleep?
About 40 or 30 maybe percent.
Maybe 50. It will be
Okay.
awesome if we will have.
Then we will probably be sloths. Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So look at this. How long is it possible to go without sleep? So have you ever had an experience of, staying up, longer than usual? Svetlana, what about you? Have you ever
I
had
know
something?
some people can live without any sleep for about 3 days. 3 days. But as for me, I can't live. When I was younger, I could stay without sleep for about 1 day, 2 days, like one night. But after that, I fell asleep like, on my way to somewhere.
Yeah, which is scary. I agree. So ladies, how about you? Have you ever tried staying up for longer than usual?
So as for me, that usually happens when we go somewhere, when we're traveling, and we usually go to different places by car. So it's not comfortable to sleep there, and so somehow I need to talk to my husband. So in order to
Not to
keep
get
him awake, yeah. So, but maybe no longer than one night, yeah. And then I feel so slow and exhausted. So
Yeah, true.
at least a few hours I need to sleep. So maybe 3 or 4 at least, but.
Okay, and the last question, I think it's quite debatable because different people share different ideas and there is a lot of research. So what do you think?
So if I'm not mistaken, adults should sleep for about 8 or 9 hours.
8, I suppose. Yeah. As for me, it's 7. So it's enough for me to sleep for 7 hours. And if I sleep more, I don't feel well.
Minimum 4 hours, or like maximum 7.5. Like it's kind of minimum 4. If you don't sleep 4 hours, it's difficult to function.
Some people study sleep cycles, and there should be complete cycles, like 90-minute cycles. And so, when you wake up, I've read it somewhere that when you wake up at the end of the cycle, it's easier for you. You feel refreshed. If you are interrupted, your deep sleep is interrupted. It's kind of you feel, really unwell. So we are going to listen to the radio interview and we are going to check the answers. I would like you to focus on the points that would be different, from what we have been discussing.
Track 3.45. We all sleep at night, but it's surprising how little most people know about sleep. We talked to sleep researcher Jonathan Wilson to find out what science has to tell us about sleep. Jonathan, first of all animals, including humans, need sleep, but why do we need it?
Well, that's a surprisingly difficult question to answer. The simple answer is we don't really know. But there are several theories about it. One is that it helps us to conserve our energy during the period when it's least useful to search for food. And another is that sleep provides a time when the body can repair and restore itself. And it seems this is especially important for the brain. One thing we know for sure is that we do need to sleep. Most people sleep for about 8 hours, which means we sleep for 1/3 of our lives. So on average, that's 25 years spent asleep. The other thing we know is you can't go for too long without sleep. It simply isn't possible. The longest recorded time that anyone has stayed awake continuously is 11 days.
So what's the ideal length of time to sleep? Is it 8 hours?
Not necessarily. Again, we don't know for sure, but research suggests that people who sleep 6.5 to 7.5 hours live the longest. So it seems the popular idea that we need 8 hours sleep isn't really true, and many people can easily get by on only 6 hours a night. Babies need most sleep, of course, about 16 to 20 hours a day for newborn babies, and that gradually decreases as they get older.
Okay. So as usual, at home, you will have a chance to come back to the script and the recording, but let's summarize the points, which were surprising points for you.
So as for me, it was very surprising how long it is possible to go without sleep, because 11 days, it's too long for
11.
me. So I can't imagine more than 2, and here is 11.
Yeah, well, but it's the longest recorded, so probably it's some unique person.
Really.
Okay. And what percentage of our life do we spend asleep?
1/3
Yeah.
of our life, about 25 years.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
Can you imagine?
30%, yeah.
Yeah, 1/3. Yeah, like about.
1/3.
Mhm.
25. Oh my God.
Okay. And so what about the number of hours we sleep a night? How many hours do we need?
6
6
and then
from
From
What
6.5 to 7.5.
and what is the point? So what kind of point did he make? Why it's better than 8?
Because it's like doubting that we need more sleep. If with more than 8, we don't feel refreshed.
Yeah, and a lot of people easily get by
Yes,
sleeping only 6
thank
hours.
you. That's a very excellent, good language. Yeah, when we get by, yeah, we, get by easily. And there was a kind of a research paper that these people live longer, right? Those
Yeah,
who,
yeah.
get by on only. So then get by is like survive, yeah, and get by on 6 hours or on 7 hours. Okay, right. So have you ever had troubles or experienced any problems getting to sleep? Well, Anya has mentioned that sometimes she has to think a lot about something before she goes to bed. Yeah, like actually it's not going to bed, it's getting to sleep, because we can go to bed quite early, but then we stay in bed and we don't fall asleep. Have you ever experienced, or do you know anybody in your family who has trouble sleeping?
So, as for me, I can't say that I have any troubles or problems getting to sleep, but I've got a usual thing to do. So I usually read a book before I get to sleep. And if I don't have the opportunity to read a book, then I feel the lack of it, and so it becomes really hard to get to sleep sometimes, because I started thinking about something, and so
Mhm.
can't
Mhm.
stop my brain working.
Again,
Uh-huh.
Really helps me to
Mhm.
um, like switch off my brain and just
Mhm.
relax
Mhm.
before sleeping.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, Svetlana, how about you?
Yeah, I have experienced this when it's difficult to sleep, especially when I'm worried. I'm worried, too worried about something, like something serious, and I can't stop thinking.
Mhm.
Sorry, thinking about that. It's connected to
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
family's health.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
I yeah, I realize, I understand that I can't do anything pleasant while I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I realize it and I ask
Uh-huh.
myself questions. So can you help him or her or them
Uh-huh.
while you are
Uh-huh.
thinking
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
before this? So, but I can't stop thinking.
Yeah, when you can't stop thinking about something, there is one way of saying it. I am worried. It's a short a worried. Or there is a one more word that we can use, that I am preoccupied with
yeah,
the idea. Like I keep this idea keeps coming back. I'm kind of preoccupied with something, that.
uh,
Mhm.
from the title head in spinning, yeah? Could we
Yeah, absolutely. There is another one. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, your head is spinning. Yeah, there is another one. Good. Right. So we are going to have a look at this article, which is on page 92. And here you have 4 paragraphs below the heading. Uh, Read through very quickly and match the paragraphs with the headings in C. Ready? Mhm. Lena, please think about, while ladies are finishing, think about which piece of advice is the most relevant, you think, and why? Mhm. Svetlana, Anya, are we ready?
Yeah,
Good, good. So, what about A? What is the heading? Mhm.
Playlist, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So why is that? Uh-huh.
Because of the
Uh-huh.
lyrics, no, music,
Yeah, when we compile, we
make
we
download.
create, yeah,
Great.
create something. Yeah, like, and here it's a playlist of music. So number, well, B. What about B? Svetlana, what's
Acknowledge.
that?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
so we should accept all the background noises and not try annoyed by them or irritated.
And when we acknowledge something or somebody, what do? We
So we know about that, we learn about that.
Mhm.
Accept.
yes,
Accept that.
yeah. And when, for example, you read some published books, and when the person or the company or the team wants to thank somebody, they would say acknowledgements, to people who were involved in the edition.
Mm.
Yeah, they accept their effort or input. Yeah. Right. C would be Anya.
Everybody out.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
Who is everybody here?
tiny people inside
Tiny
us.
people. And who are tiny people? What are they
Our
about?
thoughts.
Our
Our
thoughts.
thoughts.
Okay. Anya, you should try this. Everybody's out.
Yeah.
Time to sleep. Okay. And the final one, it is as it is. Why is this the idea? Yeah, like,
Uh,
so what is the point of the paragraph?
when you can't deal with the situation, yeah, maybe you have to, how to say it, like, плыть по течению and get
Drift. A little
drift.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drift.
Drift.
Just drift, enjoy the time and relax, and try maybe to solve the problem the next day.
Yeah. Okay. Which recommendation would you say is probably the best?
Make the night easier by accepting it for what it is. Let go of judgments and being gentle with yourself.
Okay. Lena, what do you say?
So I'd say that the best recommendation is to acknowledge the distractors, because if there's something really irritating or annoying, it's really beneficial to accept that, to try to find the maybe positive moments, as I like the neighbor's music. Yeah, and then it won't bother you and become less important. I always try this method if our neighbors is noisy. Are noisy. So, and that really helps.
Svetlana, and what do you say?
So I think I love this one. Acknowledge distraction too, like as already mentioned. It's really useful when you calm yourself down and try to take the background. When I was younger, I could sleep with the I could fall asleep with the lights. They didn't bother me at all.
Okay. Right. So, but I think all the ideas are in a way interconnected, yeah, and quite kind of useful. As usual, let's focus a little bit on the language. And Anya has mentioned the fact that here we have this good language. My head is spinning, like full of thoughts, full of ideas. I can't stop thinking about, preoccupied with something. Any other phrases that you found useful? So if you chose to focus on something, just let us know the paragraph and we'll discuss that.
So paragraph A, being soothed. Soothed, yeah.
Soothed, yeah. Something that soothes you and you can be soothed. What can soothe you? Is it music? Is it hot bath?
Music. As for me, it's
Some food? Like chocolate? No?
no. I'm trying to avoid eating too much chocolate.
I see. Svetlana, what soothes you?
Hot bath.
A hot bath. I think that water is very soothing. I agree. I don't like baths, but I would, choose a
Like
shower. But swimming, yeah, true. Yeah, that's right. So, any other language?
Sea, absolutely soothed.
The sea.
Yeah, the sea.
Yeah, sea is soothing. Yes. So back to language items. Any other things that you have pointed out for yourselves?
Like
Catchy.
mess up.
Yeah. And Svetlana, can you give us the paragraph?
Having had 8. So if I go to work tomorrow without having had 8 hours, sleep, I'll mess up that presentation or lose my like mess up and use it everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, you mess up anything and everything. Yeah. So can happen. Life is all about messing up and then sorting it out. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? So look at this
Letting
one.
go.
The silver lining. What is that about?
The silver lining.
So are you familiar with the idiom, every cloud has a silver lining? This is the allusion to this idiom. Every cloud, every bad situation has something
Positive.
positive. Every cloud has a silver lining. This is the connection.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, any
Sometimes it's really difficult to face.
yeah, to see this lining. Yeah, the silver lining. Lena, any other language items?
Maybe letting go of judgments.
Well,
That's paragraph D.
paragraph D, yeah.
Make the night easier by accepting it for what it is.
No,
Letting
yeah.
go of judgment.
So it seems so easy to use.
Yeah, but still, well, for example, the words like drift, you all know the words, but drift off to sleep, like get to sleep, like drift off. Like when after reading a book, you can drift off to sleep. Yeah.
So, and in paragraph A, there's the word catchy. Yeah, if something is catchy.
Yeah, music is catchy. Yeah, or tune is catchy. Yes, absolutely. Right. So in this paragraph, we also deal with some structures like gerunds and infinitives, and we have several phrases highlighted. And look at the categories in A. to plus infinitive, infinitive without to, gerund, you know, structures. So can you match ABC with the phrases that we have here? Ready? So, what about A? 2 plus infinitive would be too much, and
It's time.
It's time to sleep. The best
The best way.
way to sleep.
So without infinitive, without to.
Number 3
May as well.
and number 6.
Had better.
May as well, and
Had
look at this. And here we have yeah, I'd better. Yeah, true. And C?
Number 7.
It's no use.
And it's no use.
Yeah, and
it's no use.
There's no point.
So think about the structures. Which structures do you use quite often?
Had better.
The best way it's time.
The best
It's
way is
time.
time. So think of this, it's no use, or there is another phrase. It's no point doing something. Yeah, very often we say it's no use, it's no point doing something. Well, instead of also, we can say
May as well.
May as well. Yeah, because we tend to use this also, you can do something. Yeah, you may as well do something, like as an option, or maybe we overuse those also and maybe. And one more thing that I wanted to focus on, look at this phrase, they'd better. It's always in tests, in different papers, because language speakers tend to make grammar mistakes here. We all know the phrase, I would like to do something, and after would like, we use to plus infinitive. But here the meaning is the same, but there is no I'd better do, I'd rather do. Phrases I'd better and I'd rather are followed with a bare infinitive without to. And this point is always tested at high-level exams. Well, and this is probably, if we focus a bit more on this, that I'd rather do something instead of I'd like to do something when there is a choice. The rest is probably familiar because you know all the phrases, you use them. It's more about, again, variety. And using different structures, more complex structures. For example, here we have highlighted forms, and I would like you to match the highlighted forms with the names of the grammatical forms. I think that's kind of easy, right? Ready? Yeah, we're looking at B. Yeah, yes, Svetlana. So the first, what would it be?
Passive gerund. First sentence.
Passive, yeah, the first sentence, being soothed, passive gerund. So
Mhm.
what about the second?
Passive.
Two
Passive
plus passive
infinitive.
infinitive.
What about the third?
Perfect.
Yeah. Да, perfect.
Perfect gerund. And the last one?
Two plus perfect infinitive.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, and we are familiar with the forms, but sometimes do not use them quite often. So, and for example, in C, we have similar sentences. Let's try to focus a little bit on meaning. So look at one in C. He got out of bed without saying a word, or he got out of bed without having said a word. Is there any difference in meaning between the sentences? So what do you say?
Haven't said a lot. Mm.
Do you feel any? Actually, there is very little difference. Only in the second sentence, there is an emphasis that the person didn't say anything at the moment when he got up. The meaning is very, very similar. Look at number 2. Any difference in meaning?
No, I
So
suppose yes.
Yes.
A, it's about general
Uh-huh.
situation, and in B, one particular slept. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ну да, yeah.
For example, if Lena's friend wakes up in the morning and enters the room for a cup of coffee and looks very tired and messy because Lena's kids were noisy at night. So what would you say? Sorry, you
Seems not to have slept
Had
well.
slept
Yeah.
well, yeah.
you doesn't seem to have slept well because it
Yeah,
was
it
some
does.
particular case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, but well, if the person is refreshed all the time, you can say you seem to sleep well. Yeah,
Mhm.
like you look refreshed in the morning in general.
I
So
believe.
number 3, what is
Yeah,
the
so
difference?
here,
Enrich doing that.
so in the first sentence, the daughter is reading by herself.
By herself.
Reads
Yeah.
herself. Yeah,
Reads
like it's a
hers-
habit.
and, in sentence B, so someone reads to her, like mom.
So what about your
Yeah.
children? So what about your children? Do they like reading in bed, or do they like being read in bed?
My daughters like being read in bed because it's our time to relax and have spend time together. I always read them before the bedtime, and so I enjoy that process. They enjoy that. So everyone is happy about reading in bed.
Before
Well,
go to sleep.
yeah. And Anya, what about your daughter?
So my daughter likes being read doing that because
Being
being read read
uh-huh.
too in bed, yeah, because she can't read.
Yet.
She hasn't got an opportunity to read yet.
No, opportunity is a chance.
No, that, yeah, she can't read.
Yeah,
Read,
she's not able to
to
read
read.
yet. Well, and the last one. Well, Svetlana, what about your son? Does he like to wake up at a certain time in the morning, or does he like to be woken up at a certain time in the morning?
It depends when he doesn't like to wake up.
No, but teenagers don't like to wake up early in the morning.
yeah, early in the morning, but sometimes he even is eager to wake up at 6 o'clock himself.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, but when he went to bed late and he can't wake up himself, he'd like to be woken up at certain time.
Yeah. So, if I ask you to look at situations suggested here, well, let's have a look at a couple of them. Well, let's look at number 2. Let's keep this airport thing. If you don't feel tired, there is no point. How can you finish? Try to use gerunds and infinitives from page 92. So we're focusing on number 2. Can you think of?
If you don't feel tired, there's no point in going to bed early today.
Okay. Any other suggestions?
The same for me. You don't feel tired.
Well, look at number 3. When you carry on, continue, yeah. You can't carry on sleeping only 2 hours a night. You'd better.
Better go to bed on time.
Sleep more.
You'd better.
Make the night easier by accepting it what it is.
Okay. Look at number 4. What a disaster. I went into the exam without having
prepared much.
Oh, having done anything?
Oh my God.
Have you ever had something like this?
No.
No,
You were used to be very diligent students, so
Kind of.
So I suppose at university there were some moments when we had to come to exam without having prepared anything, or not maybe to exam, but to the class, because we worked and we
but sometimes when you don't need to get to be prepared well, because the teacher says that you had worked hard during the academic year, and it would give you the mark without any extra
preparation,
extra
tasks. Yeah, you don't have to answer.
Now think of yourselves after a hard working day, work day. When I feel tired, I really don't enjoy being
annoyed.
Think of it being
irritated.
Yeah.
Well, I think we need something more specific. Like when I feel tired, I really don't enjoy being
asked a lot of
questions. Yeah, kids like asking questions, or being asked to cook a big, big meal because I'm too tired.
Being asked to work, to walk,
to go for a walk.
Oh, I really enjoy being asked to go for a walk.
No, it depends on the situation.
Depends on the weather usually. If the weather is fine, so nothing could stop.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, when you are, feel overstressed and you can't sleep, just accept it. It's no use.
worrying,
It's
be
no use worrying
anxious about it too
about
much.
something. Uh-huh. Let off, you know, let go of, you know,
Judgments.
wrong judgments or thoughts. Yeah. Well, here on this page we have like a text about segmented sleep, and it will be an optional task for you if you feel like, you know, going through the text and the history and the historical approach to the segmented sleep. When it's segmented, it's interrupted. Yeah, like when people divide it into portions. But on page 94, we have 4 speakers who share their opinions about their sleep, or we say sleeping habits. So look at the pictures, look at the images. Well, and there are some words in the, you know, speaking bubbles. What do you think they are going to say? Well, it's kind of hard to predict, but let's agree that everybody will pick somebody and focus on, you know, a number of predictions. So what might they say?
Maybe, so talking about this man.
There are 2 men. So who are we talking about? The first one.
Yeah. He looks handsome.
Happy.
Yeah.
Quite happy. So what is he going to say about being restless, or about his wife, or about photos?
So maybe 10 or 11, that's the number of hours he sleeps every day. A day.
Maybe.
He needs, yeah, to sleep, to feel.
Maybe. So we will find out.
So
I
about
like
photos. So maybe he is a photographer because he is holding his camera.
Yeah. Svetlana, what do you say? Pick another person. So can you predict what we're going to hear?
The lady might be working as a yoga instructor
Maybe.
or the owner of the studio.
Maybe.
There are 20 other people probably. It's a kind of group of 20 people. Or
Okay.
she's telling about her husband, I think, about his attitude to her activity and what he thinks.
Or maybe her husband is the owner of the studio.
Maybe. Maybe.
Why not?
Maybe.
Why not, да? So.
Okay. Right.
Maybe tip to sleep is enjoying the sunset in the village.
Maybe.
Sitting around.
Yeah, like, and what about Papua New Guinea? Anything?
I actually
don't know. No idea. Yeah, like, okay, we are going to find out. I want you to listen to people talking and focus on those words. So then you will be able to comment what they say about artist, image, dream, and so on. So you might want to take some notes.
Track 3.48. Good afternoon. Well, some of you saw the article on our website last week. It explained how an 8-hour sleep may not be good for your health after all, and how people used to have what scientists call segmented sleep, which means they had 2 sleeps every night, not 1. Well, We've had lots of people calling in to tell us that they do, in fact, sleep in 2 separate chunks, and they've been filling us in on what they get up to at night. First of all, we've got Matt from Brighton on the line. Hi, Matt. So, tell us what you do at night.
Yeah, I usually go to sleep around 10 or 11. I naturally wake up at about 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I feel quite wide awake and restless. Then I get tired again at around 3 a.m. I drop off to sleep until about 7 o'clock or so. My friends have always made fun of my sleep patterns. My wife used to force me to get out of bed because I would lie there tossing and turning all night and I couldn't sleep a wink and it would disturb her.
Right, of course. So, what did you do about that?
Well, I actually decided to use the time creatively. Now I walk around Brighton taking pictures in the night. Some people might be a bit nervous walking around at 2 in the morning, but it is actually a really beautiful time to be out. You have the whole city to yourself, and it is really, really great for taking photos. There was a wild storm last night and a full moon, so I was itching to get out there with my camera.
Right, well, thanks, Matt. So, that's one idea if you're suffering from insomnia. Get out there and take some photos. Now, we have Saba on the line from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Saba,
Yes, hi, how are you?
you also get up at night.
Yes, I've always been a light sleeper. I don't really sleep much. I wake up at about 4 a.m. every night to practice yoga. I love yoga. Most of the time, I do it at home, but once a week, I drive to this really great yoga studio in Amsterdam, and I practice there with about 20 other people, and we've all really become friends now.
So they all get up every night.
Yes, we all have the same pattern now. Sometimes I even get my husband to join us if he's having trouble sleeping, but most of the time he's fast asleep and doesn't even notice when I get up. He sleeps like a log.
Okay, so you just slip away and go to your yoga class.
Well, I try to, yes, depending on how busy the day is.
And now we have Bernie from Manchester.
Hi.
Tell us about your sleep pattern.
Well, I'm an artist, or if that's not too bold a claim. I also work as an art teacher, and the way it works for me is most nights I tend to wake up in the middle of the night, feeling great, wide awake, full of beans, feeling very creative, and usually I have a very strong image in my head that I've usually got from a dream. And what I do is I get up, get my paints out, and I paint a picture.
A picture? From your dream?
Yes, that's right. Most of my work comes from dreams. Quite literally, I'm a surrealist, I suppose. Yeah, it helps me to deal with issues and work through things. I find the whole process of dreaming very therapeutic.
Interesting. And then you go to sleep again.
Yeah, I mean, what tends to happen is I go back to bed and then I'll drift off to sleep for a couple of hours. But I'm always up at 7 o'clock. After all, I've got to teach at art college.
You never oversleep?
No, I'm always fine. Sometimes I will have a nap later in the day. I'm not as young as I was, after lunch.
Thank you, Bernie. So Bernie has 3 sleeps, 2 at night and 1 in the afternoon. I think I'll try that one myself. And lastly, we have Ian, who grew up in Indonesia.
Hi there, yes.
Ian, tell us about it.
Yes, well, it's quite interesting. I grew up among the Yali people in Papua, which is part of Indonesia. My parents lived in a very remote area. My mom was a medical worker and dad was an anthropologist, and we all lived in a remote village. I lived there until I was 16, and as a child I used to camp and go hunting with my friends in the Yali tribe. We would go to bed more or less after sunset, and we always woke up during the night.
The whole village?
Yes, we'd hear people talking, someone would start a fire. Sometimes we would eat sweet potato before going back to sleep until about 5:30 or 6. At home with my parents, I would get the regular 8-hour sleep, but with my friends, I slept like they did. It just seemed more natural.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Very interesting. And now we're going to listen to the weather forecast.
So, what do these people have in common? All of them.
So, all of them have got a habit not not sleeping at night, so they usually
waking up, yeah, waking up
Yeah,
at,
to wake up at night.
waking
Yeah.
up at,
And they
you-
bought 2 or 3 sleeps.
yeah.
2 sleeps at night, but
At
Yeah.
night.
Bernie has 3.
Okay.
Sleeps at night and 1 in the afternoon.
So
So what about Matt? What was there about being restless and photos and wife and storms? Svetlana, do you remember any details about Matt?
He actually sleeps, tends to sleep 10 or 11 hours, and but he sometimes wakes up, not sometimes, but regularly wakes up at 1 o'clock or at 1 a.m. and at 3 a.m. He goes to sleep until 7, from 3 a.m. until 7, and it annoys, it disturbs his wife because he feels a kind of restless because he's tossing all night and he's just getting his camera and like there is a storm and for example at night or there was one day it was a storm and he couldn't stay in bed and he put his camera and went out with it.
It's kind of his pattern, yeah, to take pictures, yeah.
But he doesn't
Lena.
sleep for 10 or 11 hours. He goes to bed at 10 or 11. And then he wakes up at 1 or 2.
Okay. So, Anya, what about Saba? What do we know
Saba.
about?
So if I'm not mistaken, she regularly wakes up at 4 and she practices yoga, but sometimes she prefers going to the yoga studio with 20 other people and she practices yoga there. And moreover, she sometimes she gets her husband to enjoy them practicing yoga. So I suppose that's it. That is the main idea.
Okay. Svetlana, yes.
They have a kind of habit of getting up every night together.
Oh, yeah.
So what about Bernie, Lena? What do we know about him?
He is an artist and he is also an art teacher. And in the middle of the night, he usually wakes up and he had a strong image of his dream in his head. And he usually painted the picture of what he saw in his dream. And he said that he find the whole process therapeutic.
Therapeutic. You remember the word therapy?
Therapy.
And the adjective is therapeutic.
So then he could also get to sleep again, but in the morning he is awake, and sometimes he has he gets to sleep in the afternoon, so he gets usually he has 3 sleeps a day, but he says that he never oversleep.
Never over
Sleeps.
Okay. And Ian, what do we know about Ian? Well, Svetlana, can you start and then ladies will step in and share?
Born in a village or in before Greenleaf. His mom was a medical worker and his dad was a kind of scientist, a kind of
just missed that. Anthropologist. He was an anthropologist.
Anthropologist, right? And so they sometimes go hunting after a sunset, and set a fire, a kind of campfire, and
Mhm.
must come together. But I don't remember the end of the.
Who
it
can step in and comment on the fire, sweet potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
the tribal life? What do we remember about that? Any comments here?
Eating sweet potato and
Well, we'll come back to it. Don't worry. We can come back to that in a moment. So, all of them used different comments to talk
Mhm.
about their habits, the way they sleep, and they used a lot of language items. So
Mhm.
most of them are here in task C. So, and if we put them into categories, they would be all about sleeping well or too long, not sleeping or not sleeping well, and falling asleep and having a short sleep. So what I suggest we do, please, put the language items in categories. There will be maybe one or two that you're not sure about. Then we're going to listen to them and you will follow who says what and what the context was. Take a moment. Let me know if you're ready. And again, don't worry if there is a phrase or two that you're not sure about. Okay. More or less ready? So now let's listen to them talking again, and now you focus more on the language items they use.
Track 3.48. Good afternoon. Well, some of you saw the article on our website last week. It explained how an 8-hour sleep may not be good for your health after all, and how people used to have what scientists call segmented sleep, which means they had 2 sleeps every night, not 1. Well, we've had lots of people calling in to tell us that they do, in fact, sleep in 2 separate chunks, and they've been filling us in on what they get up to at night. First of all, we've got Matt from Brighton on the line. Hi, Matt. So, tell us what you do at night.
Yeah, I usually go to sleep around 10 or 11. I naturally wake up at about 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I feel quite wide awake and restless. Then I get tired again at around 3 a.m. I drop off to sleep until about 7 o'clock or so. My friends have always made fun of my sleep patterns. My wife used to force me to get out of bed because I would lie there tossing and turning all night and I couldn't sleep a wink, and it would disturb her.
Right, of course. So, what did you do about that?
Well, I actually decided to use the time creatively.
now I walk around Brighton taking pictures in the night. Some people might be a bit nervous walking around at 2 in the morning, but it is actually a really beautiful time to be out. You have the whole city to yourself, and it is really, really great for taking photos. There was a wild storm last night and a full moon, so I was itching to get out there with my camera.
Right, well, thanks, Matt. So, that's one idea if you're suffering from insomnia. Get out there and take some photos. Now, we have Saba on the line from
So what do we have for Matt? Which phrases were did he mention or were connected with him?
So be restless,
Be restless, okay.
toss and turn,
When you toss and turn, what do you do?
not sleeping or not
You
sleeping.
turn over to one side
Ah,
and other
You
side.
can't properly sleep, yeah?
Yeah. So-
What else?
His wife, yeah, was tossing and turning.
No,
Usually,
it was he who was tossing and turning, and
Mhm.
she got disturbed.
Yeah.
And
And
suffer from.
Suffer from insomnia.
So when you suffer from insomnia, what happens?
You can't sleep properly. Can't get to sleep. Not sleep a wink.
Yeah, that's what. And wide awake, yeah, he used, yes, Svetlana.
yeah,
And drop off to sleep.
Drop off to sleep. When you drop off to sleep, you get to sleep, yeah, you drift to sleep, yeah. And when you not sleep a wink, what is the idea?
a wink.
Don't have enough sleep.
You
can't get to
you can't get to sleep, yeah. This in Russian we have this глаз не сомкнуть, да? And here can't sleep a wink. So we move on.
from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Saba,
Yes, hi, how are you?
you also get up at night.
Yes, I've always been a light sleeper. I don't really sleep much. I wake up at about 4 a.m. every night to practice yoga. I love yoga. Most of the time I do it at home, but once a week I drive to this really great yoga studio in Amsterdam, and I practice there with about 20 other people, and we've all really become friends now.
So they all get up every night.
Yes, we all have the same pattern now. Sometimes I even get my husband to join us if he's having trouble sleeping, but most of the time he's fast asleep and doesn't even notice when I get up. He sleeps like a log.
Okay, so you just slip away and go to your yoga class.
Well, I try to, yes, depending on how busy the day is.
And now we have Bernie.
So what about her? What kind of language items does she use?
So
She a light sleeper.
She's a light sleeper, and what is meant here?
That she can't sleep much.
Yeah. And what about her husband?
He's fast asleep.
He usually sleeps like a log.
Sleeps like a log. Do we have this a similar expression in Russian?
Ну, как убитый, спать
Как убитый, да.
What is a log?
Бревно.
Yeah, a tree trunk. Yeah. Okay. All right, we move on.
Bernie from Manchester.
Hi.
Tell us about your sleep pattern.
Well, I'm an artist, or if that's not too bold a claim. I also work as an art teacher, and the way it works for me is most nights I tend to wake up in the middle of the night, feeling great, wide awake, full of beans, feeling very creative, and usually I have a very strong image in my head that I've usually got from a dream. And what I do is I get up, get my paints out, and I paint a picture.
A picture from your dream?
Yes, that's right. Most of my work comes from dreams. Quite literally, I'm a surrealist, I suppose. It helps me to deal with issues and work through things. I find the whole process of dreaming very therapeutic.
Interesting. And then you go to sleep again?
Yeah, I mean, what tends to happen is I go back to bed, and then I'll drift off to sleep for a couple of hours. But I'm always up at 7 o'clock. After all, I've got to teach at art college.
You never oversleep?
No, I'm always fine. Sometimes I will have a nap later in the day. I'm not as young as I was, after lunch.
Thank you, Bernie. So
Mhm. So, what do we say? What does Bernie mention?
That he is wide awake in the middle of the night, feeling great and refreshed.
And if I'm not mistaken, drop off.
Drift off to sleep.
What?
So then after he painted the picture, he usually drifts off to sleep for a couple of hours.
And in the middle of the day, what does he have?
A nap. A nap.
A nap. Yeah,
Ah,
he
have a
has
nap.
a nap.
So the same, yeah, meaning получается, drift off to sleep and have a nap. A
Have
short
a nap,
no.
have a short sleep.
A nap is usually a refreshing sleep.
Refreshing.
Yeah, usually, well, when people have a nap in the middle of the day to restore the energy, but drifting off to sleep is more about the process of falling asleep, right? And the last story.
Bernie has 3 sleeps, 2 at night and 1 in the afternoon. I think I'll try that one myself. And lastly, we have Ian, who grew up in Indonesia.
Hi there. Yes.
Ian, tell us about it.
Yes. Well, it's quite interesting. I grew up among the Yali people in Papua, which is part of Indonesia. My parents lived in a very remote area. My mom was a medical worker and dad was an anthropologist, and we all lived in a remote village. I lived there until I was 16, and as a child I used to camp and go hunting with my friends in the Yali tribe. We would go to bed more or less after sunset, and we always woke up during the night.
The whole village?
Yes, we'd hear people talking. You know, someone would start a fire. Sometimes we would eat sweet potato before going back to sleep until about 5:30 or 6. At home with my parents, you know, I would get the regular 8-hour sleep, but with my friends, I slept like they did. It just seemed more natural.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Very interesting. And now we're going to listen to the weather forecast.
So, what about him? What kind of language does he use?
As for me, I didn't.
Just waking up, yeah, in the middle of the night, and we didn't. So, what was there about sweet potatoes and fires?
No, at night, before going to sleep.
After they returned from the hunting, they used to make fire and sometimes eat sweet potato before they go to sleep at about 5:30 or 6 a.m.
Yeah, Yali people, the tribe, this is their sleep patterns, right? So, all in all, sleeping well or too long, which phrases were about sleeping well and too long?
Sleeping well or too long. Oversleep. Sleep like a dog or a log.
A log,
Sleep like
and then, and actually, yeah, be fast asleep. Yeah. Yeah, be fast asleep.
No, sleep well or too long. Be fast asleep
Well,
also, yeah?
Yeah, be fast asleep. So not sleeping or not sleeping well, what do we say here? Be wide awake. Be
restless.
be restless.
And turn.
Toss and turn.
Not sleep a wink.
And what
Suffer
about
from-
Seba? What kind of sleeper is she?
A light sleeper.
Yes, and then you might suffer from insomnia if it's a problem, a health issue. So falling asleep, we can say get to bed, go to bed, and here we had
Drift off to sleep.
and drop off to sleep. Yeah. And finally having a short sleep.
Have a nap.
Yes, that's right. So if I ask you to comment on your sleep patterns, you know, final moment. So can you comment on your sleep patterns using the language that we have been discussing? So what do you say? Are you a light sleeper? Or do you sleep like a log?
Oh, yesterday I had a chance to sleep like a log for about 24 hours, I suppose.
24 hours?
I was sleeping during the day.
You
So
had a nap. Oh, lucky
yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Svetlana, what do you say?
I actually is a light sleeper, but when I go to my parents' house in the countryside, I sleep like a log because there too much oxygen there, and I have over for during 1 week minimum, minimum one.
Okay.
Like I feel always asleep, like I sleep a lot, sometimes even over sleep. And, but it disappears after a week. I get used to that. So my organism suffering from the lack of oxygen. I need
Yeah, when the level is restored, you're back to, to normal. I see. Lena, so what do you say?
So luckily I don't suffer from insomnia and I usually sleep like a log, but sometimes, so because my daughter is young, she wakes up at night and comes into my room, and so it wakes me usually up, but still I try to get to sleep, and I usually get to sleep fast if that happens. But so if I have a chance, I always try to have a nap during the day. So maybe at the weekend, because it really keeps me refreshed and more energetic for the rest of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's about it. At home, you will have a chance to come back to some linked items from the recordings and to recap vocabulary and, focus a bit more on gerunds and infinitives. I'll post the assignment later today. Have an enjoyable week. Stay in touch.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So about extra tasks that we have, the revision, will you send the answers to check?
Yes, I will. Just my bad. I just didn't do that. I will. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
You too.